All right, everybody, are we ready? Are we ready for today's video? In today's video, we're going to talk about KNT. KLT. I'm sorry, KLT. And I'm going to get into that in a second. But first, I want to tell you a quick story about something that happened with my wife and I. We're at the Bucks game, and this goes into what this video is going to be about. During the game, the visiting team's coach called, made his replacements of the players, and there was this one player that stayed by the coach, and I was telling my wife, maybe they're talking about the next, something that happened in there. But then the coach kept saying, go back to your chair, and he wouldn't go. He just kept talking to the coach. And then the other players and other coaches, they were like waving, hey, come on back, get over here. And then he started to walk back, and he was like, I'm just trying to have a conversation. Trying to have a conversation. So you can see how awkward that was, where the coach didn't want to talk to him. He wanted him to sit down. So they have that little crazy dynamic. But what we're going to do is we're going to have a conversation. Some people may not like this conversation. Some people might like this conversation. But everybody needs to hear this conversation, because if you want to make more money in your business, this is a very important aspect that you need to understand, that you need to do intentionally, or you're going to be frustrated when you're trying to move your business forward. So this is my K plus L plus T equals MONEY, money. So what does the K stand for? You've heard this before. The know, for people to buy something from you, they have to know, like, and trust you. Well, I'm going to break this down from a perspective of someone who has, number one, I own four companies, have other investments that I do, but 4 companies that we own and operate, my wife and I. And so each of them is different. Retail, service, internet. They're all have something different about them. But the one thing that's in common with either the customers or the contractors that we work with is that this formula still is consistent in there. But I'm going to explain it in a way that might be a little bit different than what you've heard before, because I'm going to talk about this from application of it, not from just reading it in a book, or someone that's a coach that's never ran a business is, kind of telling that to you. I'm going to tell it to you from actual, being in business, someone who has to deal with this type of atmosphere every day that I'm at work. So I could, and I went through this when I was building my business. So let's first talk about no. Some people think that knowing someone is like, hey, you walk up to them, hey, my name is Stephen A. Williams. I'm the president and founder of Blue Book MKE. Nice to meet you. And that's one way. Or what if you're on the internet? Are you going to make a video and say, hey, I'm Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of Blue Book MKE. Nice to meet you. And then the video ends? Believe it or not, there's people that try to do stuff like that, even on LinkedIn or on other places. Not making a video, but they try to introduce themselves that way. And it's like, that's how that's how I'm going to get to know you? That doesn't work that way. I see that all the time on LinkedIn for some reason. I don't know why. I guess that's just the way that a lot of people are used to doing it. But to know somebody in the business world is to demonstrate. No matter what you have, what your product or service is, it must be demonstrated for someone to get to know you. So if you are let's just say that, I'll pick one of my businesses. If you're in the advertising business, you can't just walk up to people and be like, hey, I'm in the advertising business. I want to help explode your business. I want to bring you customers, all that stuff. They're going to be like, well, number one, who are you and where you come from? But let me tell you what I learned from being in business is that you demonstrate, and that's how people get to know. So you demonstrate. You know, this is so powerful. Let me tell you how powerful this is. For my publishing company, for years, I started it in 1990 when I was 20 years old. And for years, I would say, before it was widely known that I owned the company, it was probably like the mid 2002 or like 2003 or 4, before it was widely known that I owned the company. This is when people found out I owned the company, people did not think that I owned the company, that it was just my company, because of what I was able to demonstrate over the years with what the company was doing. Like, they were like, no, people were saying he doesn't own the business. And I was like, yes, I own the business. And they were like, do you got a partner? Yeah, I got a partner. It's my wife. My wife is my partner. So yeah, I do got a partner. Yeah, you're right. I didn't do it all by myself. My wife and I did it together. But because of the demonstration, it was so powerful. So the demonstration is so powerful that I still make money off of that to this day. Like 33 years, getting ready to go on 34 years with that business, that the demonstration of what I was doing from week after week after week after week after week got so ingrained in the people to where they didn't question when they came to do business with us. They just did it. Now, did they know me? No, they didn't know me personally. No, they didn't even know about me, but they saw the demonstration. So with your business, when you're getting it off the ground, when you're starting, don't think about trying to get people to know who you are, because they don't care who you are. You just demonstrate what you've done. And that will be more powerful than trying to introduce yourself to somebody. Demonstrate what you've done. Because when it's all said and done, do they have you or do they have a product or service? When it's all said and done, do they have you or the product or service? Now, I know that there's situations where it could be, where people be like, man, I just like dealing directly with you. We've had stuff like that in our offices where they're like, I want to deal with this person or that person. But that's like 1 in a million. Most people do business because of this here with the demonstration. And then that goes into the like. Goes into the like. Because if you demonstrate what you do, you will have a lot of people who will do business with you and they don't like you. And I know for a fact that there's some people who spend thousands of dollars with me and my companies, and they really don't like me. And do I care that they don't like me? No. So you need to understand this when you're running your business, growing your business, is that number one, you don't need to do your business to make people like you. You don't need to change yourself to make people like you. People are going to do business with you because they want to do business with you. It's going to come down to that. I see so many people worried about the likes on the video, the likes on the post, the engagement on a certain post or whatever. Did you know that before the internet came about and all the stuff, did you know like radio was like dominated? And did you know that people who call the radio shows, that it was less than like 1/10 of 1% of the listeners to a radio show would ever call a radio show? So does the radio talk show host base everything off of the tiny 1/10 of 1% who actually pick up the phone to call? No, they didn't. And the same thing, you shouldn't lead your business by how many likes you're getting and you should lead your business by what you want your business to do for people, and you demonstrate that. And the people who like it will come and do business with you regardless if they personally like you. So don't do your business. You don't need everyone. to do business with you. That's an excellent lesson that I've learned. Excellent lesson. Now, let's get into the third one. And these are in order for a reason. This is number one. This is number two. This is number three. Don't think that you can flip these up in order, because if you flip them up in order, you're going to have people have the wrong expectation about what you can do for them with their business. So now, the next thing, and then before I get into the trust part, when people come to you and they're just ready to just give you their money to do something, they've already ran through these two here, and these two are the justification for here. But the trust is not exactly what you might be thinking. And I'm not, in this video, I'm not going to go into full blast about the trust, but I'm going to tell you that people, when they trust and buy your product or service, the trust is really built on the expectation that your product or service will do for them. So if you have all of the know, the like, you got that down, they're using this to justify giving you a chance. But they're going to actually buy from you. When it's all said and done, they're going to buy from you based on how high you can take their business. How high you can take their business. So, just as an example, they buy a product or service from you, or a coaching service from you, some type of something that's supposed to make a difference in their business. If that difference is not huge, I'm talking about where they think, hey, I spend $5,000 with you, it's going to make me potentially $100,000 in 6 months to a year. Where they just like, that's a deal. I will take that deal. But if you're offering them a $5,000 coaching program and you're just teaching them how to utilize tools to work in their business, you may make some sales, but you're not going to be able to like blow your business up. But I'll go into that in other videos. I just want to kind of tell you, so if you've been having trouble growing your business, and you know you've been making videos, I demonstrate and I do stuff, and then people like me, they liking my videos or commenting, all of that stuff, got great engagement, and then you make your offer and then it's like people aren't buying. It's like, why aren't people buying this? Because they do not feel that it's gonna do what they want it to do for them. See, that's why it goes all the way back to, it has nothing to do with you in the end. It has nothing to do with me in the end. It has everything to do with what your product or service is going to do for them. So stop worrying about all of the other stuff to change and morph yourself and bend yourself in all these different, like a pretzel. Don't do none of that stuff. Be who you are. Do your business the way that you want to do it. And the people who see it the way you see it will become your customers. And as a matter of fact, those customers will be great customers. They will pay you more money, and it will be a match that you've been looking for. I want to thank you for your time. This is Stephen A. Williams, President and Founder